Hi and welcome to Coaches on the Couch. My name is Sharon Page and this is Phil Pollard, and together we are your relationship specialists exploring human behaviour. Today's topic of discussion is focus and mindset.
Look, they are great topics, Sharon, and they're two of my favourite. And I know we've got a guest coming up later on the show, and that's Alex Tripod. And Alex is an amazing lady. She's an entrepreneur coach, and you know, they're the two of the great things you need is focus and mindset to really make things work in the world of being an entrepreneur. And we've got a viewer email later on in the show as well. I know that's come from a viewer who is desperate to break free. And we'll fill you in more about that as the show goes on. So I guess what we've got to start, Sharon, is asking those questions like, where is it that you feel stuck, that you've had a go at something and then you haven't quite made it, that you're sort of caught in a bit of a rut where you're in a job maybe that's grinding you down, possibly, and it's like, well, what do I do? How do I, isn't this what normal people do? Don't normal people just go to work 9 to 5 and live for the weekends, and then they look forward to, you know, they go the old, I don't like Mondays and give me hump day Wednesday and TGIF, you know, like thank goodness it's Friday, yeah. Because, you know, that's the day they look forward to. And there's 7 days a week and they're stuck on 2 days a week. And they're probably spending most of Sunday thinking about the bum week that's coming up anyway, right? So it's like, yeah. It's like, so how do you get out of that? What would be the first thing? If you were my coach and I was that, what would you recommend me to do? Well,
look, at the end of the day, I think the first point I would like to suggest is just acknowledging if you are in that situation right now, you're not the only one. I know myself, I've been through it numerous times in the past, and I know you have too, Phil, and you've got some stories to share.
Yeah, look, it's been amazing. I've had some clients, and I know myself, I've taken on jobs, you know, a job, which is always the 9 to 5 stuff. And it's like, well, here's what the job's going to look like, and here's your role, and I love it. That's why I've applied for it. And then you get good at something, and people see that and they say, well, can you do this and can you do the next thing? And I've spoken to many managers who get promoted up, even though it isn't what they wanted to do. It wasn't the passion. So it's like, okay, I've actually quit jobs where it's just gone, you know, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. When I started, I was passionate about it. I was loving what I was doing, but the job's changed and evolved, and it's not married up with me. And I've gone home and I've been whinging and complaining to my wife. I've been like getting colds I can't shake. It's like, because it shows up somewhere. If you're not aligned in certain areas of your life, it'll show up somewhere. So it's just like getting.
It's not just work that it shows up though.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere in life. Yeah, absolutely. So what would be the first point that we could highlight to the viewers? I guess not even just focusing on just around work, in life in general, because quite often it's very easy to become stuck in that rut and not knowing how to get yourself out of it, especially if you have no idea around what is it that you want to do. Yeah, it's
always a key question, because it's finding your passion.
Yeah.
And I know people talk about that, but it's how do you do that? The question I always ask my clients at the beginning is just like, well, what is it, if you could take money out of the equation, what would you do? You know, and I hear all sorts of things. And it's just like, okay,
sure
well,
you would.
It isn't like where you would spend 5 or 6 weeks laying on a beach somewhere. And because that's about how long it would take. Maybe 3 months you might last, but you would be bored. There'd be something inside of each and every one of us that drives us internally. You know, for me, it was finding out that, hey, I can make a difference to others through conversations and be a contribution and live in a world of inspiration where my stories that I can share and the advice I've given over the years has really been honed and tuned in, so it makes a difference to my clients when I see them.
Yeah, of course.
So that's my passion, right, is out there speaking with people. There's no mistake. I'm sitting here on a couch with you and the viewers.
So how do you find out what that passion is?
Yeah, so it's just like keep asking the question. And look, it's okay for passions to change as well. You know, for years, when I grew up, it was like I wanted to drive trucks. So I drove trucks for years, so about a decade, a bit over. And then I couldn't because my back gave way, and I was just like, well, you know, people said you've got the gift of the gab. I don't know if that's a gift or not, but they put me into a sales and they trained me how to sell people. And selling for me was a solution. And I was like, well, that's what I've always done. I've always looked for solutions. I was doing that when I was in transport, finding transport solutions, and now I do it in sales, and now I'm doing it in marketing, and now I do it with the couples and my clients that I sit with. I'm constantly solving problems. And that's what I love doing. I get a buzz out of giving someone a hand, helping them find the pathway to what they're doing.
Yeah, beautiful.
So it's keep asking yourself, what's the thing that lights you up? what is the thing that lights you up? Until
another good indicator too, Phil, would be to also have a look at what are the areas of conversation that continue to come up within your circle of friends. You know, what are those key topics that you love exploring with people?
Yeah, I really get that, because it's all about associations as well. It's who you associate with and the conversations we have on the side, because Aussies are really great at knowing what we don't want. You know, how far is that? Oh, it's not far, and you know, it tends to be how people get asked and what they want. So great, you can eliminate what you don't want, but have the focus on what you do want. Like I'm a fan of doing the old Ben Franklin thing. You know, we say, well, here's all the pros and here's all the cons. And if it's about an even, it's like, well, maybe that's not it. But keep looking till all of a sudden you've explored an area of your life that is just so filled up with pluses that maybe this is
that's the
where
trouble,
I should
isn't
explore.
it? When we get caught in that rut, we're often tend to be focusing on what we don't want to experience, and we can continue to attract that within our lives, don't we? Look, so you brought up a really good point there. So identify what is it that you actually want.
Yeah, and before you move on, I think, because you said that attract, right?
Yeah.
So have a look around you right now, and I know it can be confronting at times, but it's actually what you've attracted into your life. You've got the relationship that you're in right now because you've attracted that into your life. You've got the job that you want because you've attracted that into your life. And you can't be pointing the finger. The minute you point your finger at something over there, you've got 3 coming right back at you. So look over here. Don't go saying it's the circumstances, because it's not that. You've actually pulled this into your life right now. I know sometimes it can be a bit confronting, like, how the hell did that happen? Yeah. But it's just, this is how it is. So once you take responsibility for it, then you can start to steer it in the direction you want. And again, it's keep searching, keep searching, keep searching. Talk with your friends. And if you need to change the circle of friends, change up your circle of friends. Go with people who are doing what you want to do.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Like so attracts like, doesn't it?
Yeah. Start hooking into those who are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like when I wanted to be a coach, I started hanging with coaches. Yeah. Just like that.
So what are the key call-outs then?
Oh, the key call-outs are just, number one, look in the mirror. Like, really, see where you are right now, doing a life assessment.
Yeah.
But you know what's going to, and I really don't want to go too much in this, because our next guest, Alex, and she's coming in after the break, she's got a great conversation around this, and I don't want to preempt too much. So it's just like really hanging out for her, because you know, I know she's going to add to this, and you know, we'll be able to explore that a little bit further.
Yep.
Yep. So for you, have I missed anything in this little segment we got here? Because it's just like...
Look, as you said, we'll continue to add to it as Alex comes on board after the break.
Yep. So, yeah, hang on. After the break, we've got Alex Tripod coming in, and you'll find her amazing. Have a lot of fun with her. She's full of energy. See you straight after the break. Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Coaches on the Couch, your relationship specialist exploring human behaviour. Now, as we suggested before the break, we have a wonderful guest that is with us today, and Phil.
Yeah, Sharon, we do.
To introduce her.
Look, most of us go through life with our eyes closed. You know, we're constantly searching and craving, wanting, thinking this is the way it's supposed to be. You know, trying, failing, and then settling for less than what we really want. This was our next guest. She was an accountant, working for the man, until she had enough. She quit a day job and is now living with purpose and passion. Alex is on a mission. She's on a mission to help others tap out of their unfulfilling 9-to-5 jobs and to tap into their truth, their purpose, and start the business of their dreams. Let's tap on over to Alex Tripod.
Hey, Phil and Sharon. Super excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on down. Yeah, so I have a burning question.
Sure, no worries.
What did it feel like for you the day that you left your job?
Wow, good question. I guess relief, obviously, but you know, it was more in the preparation leading up to that moment. You know, we're so caught up on the big moments in our lives, like, you know, that moment that I quit my job and I decided to become an entrepreneur. But it was more the lead up, that where I had to face my fears. You know, the week before, sitting at my desk, thinking, looking at my finances, going, am I really going to do this? Am I really going to go all in and quit my job, quit a steady paycheck, you know, without even having one paying client yet? Am I really going to do this? So it was a massive relief when I actually did the resignation, but you know, the best way I could probably describe it is, you know, going skydiving, but without a parachute, I guess.
Wow. So there was no safety net?
No safety net at all.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. And what led you to do it?
I guess, you know, that's why I'm sort of like a product of why I'm so passionate about, you know, trying to pull people out of the 9-to-5 trap. It wasn't that I was unhappy. It was that like unfulfillment that was constantly chasing me, and I was constantly trying to find things outside of myself, whether it be, you know, a relationship to give me happiness or a holiday. I've got my Bali holiday booked. I've got TGIF, like you were saying before, and living for the weekends. And it was like, there's got to be more to life than this. Like, we spend, 80% of our lives at work. Why not make it something that you love? Why not make it something that you want to jump out of bed for? And something kind of just snapped inside of me. And I think everyone has their different points in their lives that they have that snap moment. And for me, you know, it was just having had enough, you know.
Yeah, fantastic. And how great is that you are now assisting people to do exactly that?
Absolutely. And I think it's, I had to go through it. I had to go through the fears and all that, because I get those exact questions. That's what I have to coach people through, you know. And the biggest thing I see is people getting so trapped in analysis paralysis. You know, fear loves to feed on people that are stationary. You know, people that have their feet on the ground. Oh, I could do this, I could do that. Cool, just take action. Because as long as you're taking action, then the fear is not there to torment you. Yeah.
Do you find that that's a common theme that comes up with your clients? That they get trapped in that fear, and it's just kind of like, oh, how do I propel myself forward? I kind of know what I want to do, but how do I make that shift?
Absolutely. And, you know, more so, it's more of a, I guess it's a human mind conditioning where when we're acting from ego, we, you know, and I don't say it as a bad thing, ego is just said to protect you. You know, we have this big hang up on ego being bad, but the poor little thing's just trying to protect us, you know. But we live almost exclusively from pain of past experience or what if scenarios of anxiety gaps of the future. This is why I have my anchor, my watch that says now. So it's always keeping me in the moment,
wow.
in the moment,
That's
in the moment, in the
fantastic.
moment. So, you know, absolutely, it keeps them trapped. This comfort zone. Oh, but I know it. I'm certain. Australians are addicted to certainty, and it's almost unhealthy.
It's a complete illusion, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because the only certainty that you can ever have is the certainty that you have within.
Absolutely.
And that's your self-belief.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's when you get certainty.
Yeah, absolutely. Self-belief, I think, mixed with action is the two of the biggest things. You know, you got to have the certainty, the focus, and the action. If you're lacking one of those key ingredients, you're going nowhere. You're progressing slowly, you're progressing backwards, or you're going nowhere.
Yeah. So what do you do to assist your clients that are stuck in that, I guess, that feeling of fight or flight, you know?
Sure. So for me, you know, I'm a big believer that people usually have to have their backs up against the walls before they do anything dramatic to make a change in their life. You know, they have to go through a relationship breakdown, or they have to get rock bottom. And I'm here to sort of tap into people and go, okay, cool, your life's at a 7 out of 10. Let's get it to a 10 out of 10. Let's not get you to drop to a 5 out of 10 before we make that shift. So it's more, you know, future pacing them, 12 months. Where do you see yourself? What's your vision? Most people don't have a vision. Most people, if you ask them, where will you be in 12 months exactly? They can't give me an answer straight away. So I try and paint their future for them, then pull them back to where they are, and then that gap causes this pain. And they're right, do you want to change that? So then I assist them into helping them through, you know, meditation, visualizations, all that kind of stuff. So
when you say visualizations, is it actually creating a vision board?
Yes,
do you actually get them to do that as well?
That's part of it. So visualizations can be like audio visualizations, you know, constructing a conversation between their future self and their current self, and their future self giving them, you know, advice. You know, because we don't actually realise it, but we all have the answers within ourselves. I'm just there to extract it from them.
Yeah. And do you find that, I don't know, you've probably found this with your clients as well, that whole creating a vision around where you want to go, quite often I found with my clients that they say that they don't know what that vision is. However, it is already preconceived on how it's going to go.
Absolutely.
And it's usually around, like where we first spoke about, it's really concepted around what they don't want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So getting clear on what is it that you actually want.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a
well,
big
most
difference.
people are too scared to actually ask for more. Raise your standards, ask for more. And it's because we're so, it's almost like a protective thing. The ego says, don't ask for it because you might not get it. So stay in this little comfort zone because at least we know that we're going to achieve our small little goals.
Yeah.
Does that make
awesome.
sense?
Yeah, it does, because what we want to do is actually have our clients get really comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that nervousness, it was only yesterday I had a call from a new client, and she's called me and she says, I'm really nervous about making this call. I said, that nervousness, are you uncomfortable? She goes, yes. I said, this is being alive. That's called being alive. When was the last time you felt like that? You know, and so it's just, I'm a big fan of getting people being uncomfortable.
And that's where the certainty comes from, doesn't it? You take that step.
Yeah.
The confidence just shows up.
Apparently it's like a 2% mindset. I saw this other thing the other day. It's 2% mindset where we live outside the comfort zone, and then 98% of the population live inside. And that's where your unfulfillment and boredom and repetition goes. And then this is where dreams are achieved and success lies, you know, but it's only 2% that actually really
just outside,
listen to that.
That is just outside. She's on the same track as us. Now, Alex, we're going to cut to a break real soon.
Sure.
But we've got an email coming up.
Okay.
And this email actually addresses someone who's about to make a move. So
Exciting.
Can you hang around with us after the break and stick with us?
We'd love to.
So don't go away. We'll be straight back after this break with our viewer email and look forward to seeing you after this.
Hi, welcome back to Coaches on the Couch, your relationship specialist exploring human behaviour. Next up now, we have our viewer email.
I have it here, Sharon. Shall I read it?
Let's go.
Let's go. So, hi Sharon and Phil. I'm feeling drained. I have been working with the same company for nearly 7 years and the money is great, but the job isn't as satisfying as it used to be. And I'm under constant pressure to perform every day to hit my KPIs. And because I'm good at what I do, I seem to be doing more work than my peers, and I'm feeling resentful at them for not stepping up. I have a really great idea for a business that I thought of a couple of years ago, and I've worked out it might take quite a few months to earn some big dollars from it. I get really excited thinking about it, and it's all I talk about to my friends. It could be a potential to become a really big and easily replaceable income inside of 12 months. But what if it doesn't work? Do I take a huge risk and lose my income? Or do I play it safe and stick with the job security? Any advice? This is from Kyle from Roxburgh Park. Can we help Kyle out?
Look, I think we can. And Kyle, look, you're not the only one. We have all been there. I know myself, I'd mentioned before, a lot of us have. And
I know I have.
just know that there is a way forward. So I'd love to hear your take on this because you are the expert in this field.
Sure.
What's your take on it?
Absolutely. So Kyle, I picked up on a few things there. So first of all, you're saying that, you know, you're having, your body's actually having a physical reaction to your current situation. You know, you're feeling resentful, you're feeling drained, okay? And then you've got this amazing feeling towards your body of excitement, thinking of this other area, which is, you know, just way that you want to go. So my advice with this is a couple of things. First and foremost is, what can you do now? What action steps can you take? Like I said before, analysis paralysis, you know, fear only feeds on you if you stay stationary. So what can you do without having to take out that $20,000 loan, without having to take all the risks just yet, if you're not comfortable with that? What can you do? Can you start your social media pages? Can you write a business plan? All these things you can do that aren't going to, you know, take you out of your security just yet. And then when it becomes a little bit more real, then you can actually make real evaluations of, you know, where is this actually going to become a dream? Is this going to become a reality? And for me, I think, like, the only other thing I want to add to that is, the best thing I ever did was risk it all. Now, I'm not saying, you know, risk everything, but take calculated risks. If you know that you've got a fire inside of you, if you know that it's potential to grow, what are you really risking? You're risking the life that you have, that, you know, this certainty that you're not even happy about. So just kind of weigh it up and take action. What you
and it's perfectly said there, Alex. And look, what I'd like to add to that as well is possibly finding a coach or a mentor to assist you with it, to help you map out what is it that you want to do. And like you said, making those calculated decisions. I'd also possibly have a look at, if you're wanting to leave your full-time job for this business and really take it off, maybe having some sort of account that you can start direct depositing some, like your wage, I guess, it would cover you for a certain period of time. So it might be 3 months, 6 months, however long that you work out with your mentor or coach that it's going to take for this business to really take off. So then that way, 3 months down the track or 6 months down the track, you can step out of the job and feel much more at ease.
Yeah, good point.
Having those finances in the bank.
That's exactly what I did. I had to take out a small personal loan, but it covered me for 3 months, and then that meant in that 3 months I had to get clients. I had to get, and it was that real kick up the bum. So that's a really good point there.
I really get it. Like having a deadline really works. I remember the great piece of advice I got years ago when I was starting out my business was like, you get paid for a JOB, which will keep you just over broke mostly. That's why they're called JOBs. That you get paid 9 to 5, but then you got between 5 and 9 because you've got 24 hours in a day. If you could put yourself in for 12 hours, you've got the 9 to 5 you get paid your wage for, and then between 5 and 9, that gives you 4 full hours, another half a day that you can start to build. And you touched on it early before. Start to put out the first steps in your business. You're putting out there like exploring social media. The big thing you hit on before was making a business plan. Too many people jump in because of the idea and excitement. Sure. And I hear that Kyle's caught up right now between he's pumped, he's got excitement about it because all he talks about it with his friends, but on the other hand he's got security. And I don't know, I don't think any job's secure anymore. In my father's day, you'd start a job when you were 15 and retired at 65. I don't think it happens anymore. I think today, the real guns, if you look at the CEOs of the top 4 banks, they're in there for a 2-year contract. That's it. Now, they're making great money in 2 years. But it's like, there's no job that's there forever.
But even the security, it's not exactly, it doesn't sound like he's giving him happiness. And all we live for is our level of happiness, right? So if this other adventure is potentially, business venture going to potentially increase his level of happiness, and here you are in this security of not much happiness, well, I feel like it's definitely worth the risk.
Well, this is it. And look,
understand it.
And adding to that, just doing a little bit and a little bit more will improve that happiness, that level of happiness. You'd be going into work each day feeling just that little bit more happier because you're working towards something.
It is. Look, it's been a hell of a show. Thanks for hanging around with us.
Sure.
If we were to look at the key things we can give our viewers, the top 3 things, and if we pick one each, what would you give? First piece of advice.
First piece of advice is to try and stay, I think the biggest thing for me is try and stay in the present moment as much as you can. Don't get trapped in the what if illusionary fears of the future scenarios.
Yeah, excellent.
Awesome.
Fantastic. And my tip would be to reach out for support, reach out to a coach, a mentor, someone that can really sit down with you and assist you to map out what you're not being able to see.
Yeah, having the mentor.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, and taking the actions. Like they talk about law of attraction, bringing things into your life. You've really got to now take the actions once you have the plan. So great having you here, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Great having you coaching from the couch.
Yes, thank you.
And it's another episode.
And if you would like to know more about today's episode, you can head on over to coachesonthecouch.com, and we'll also have some information about Alex there and her services. Until next week, take care, and thank you for watching Coaches on the Couch.